Here we have four dice, four interactive dice brought to you by CPD College. Dice are a mathematics manipulative that we all tend to have in our classrooms, and they can be used to support exploration of number across a range of mathematics concepts. First off, we can do some quick mental arithmetic. So you could roll 5 dice 1 to 6 and the children have to add the total. Or you could throw 5 dice with numbers between 2 and 19. Or you could throw 3 dice with numbers between 21 and 50. Or you can throw 3 pink dice and they have higher numbers again. The numbers tend to be between 51 and 99. So quick round of mental arithmetic, maybe to warm up a session. The next thing you could do would be to throw out 2 dice, say the pink ones again, and you ask the children to double the numbers. And they could write the answer on a dry white marker board and you'd ask them then to show. And then you would talk to them about their doubling strategy. What strategy did they use to double the numbers? So ask each child or 2 or 3 children, how did you get the answer? And they will reveal their thinking in explaining to you how they actually did it. In the next activity, we throw out 3 green dice. Let's get 3 and throw. And you say to children, double the 2 greatest numbers and subtract the smaller one. So double the bigger numbers and subtract the smaller one, or double the smaller ones and subtract the bigger one. So again, that's another idea for using the dice. Again, you might look at halves and quarters. So for example, take the pink dice, just throw 1 dice, throw the dice, and you say to the children, what is half the number? So on your dry white marker boards, write down half the number. So the children are writing down 31. So you can do halving the number. And up in 6th class, they should also be able to tell you what quarter of this number is. So you can quarter the number, and you can pick the smaller numbers, or you can pick the larger number for doubling, halving, doubling and adding the smaller, doubling and subtracting the smaller dice. So for example, if you throw out 3 dice, that they would double the larger and subtract the smaller, etc., etc. You could throw out the orange dice and ask them what is 10 times or what is 100 times the number shown, and they are to write that number on a dry white marker board and show you. So 10 times that number, or what is that number if it was 10 times smaller. So you're looking at multiplying by 10, 100, 1000, or dividing by 10, 100, and 1000 and working the decimal point. Another idea is you could be working money. So for example, you throw out a pink dice and you say, this is my change out of €1. How much did I spend in the shop? And you throw it again. So I had €1 going into the shop. Coming out of the shop, I had 76 cents. How much did I spend? Write the answer on your dry white marker board and show me. You can increase the level of challenge, say by throwing out 1 of each dice and saying something like to the children, add the 2 largest dice, add the 2 smaller dice, and subtract the total of the 2 smaller from the total of the 2 larger. And again, you can do lots of those with the children to sharpen up their addition and subtraction skills. Also, the children can have their own dice at their tables in conjunction with you using the virtual interactive dice. And to get the dice with the bigger numbers, you can actually make those dice yourself, or else just buy dice with the bigger numbers on them. And if you want, you could use little stickers to change the numbers on a set of dice. So another activity might be to get the red dice, the 1 to 6, get 2 of them. And your question to the children are, if I was to roll 2 1 to 6 dice, how many different number combinations could I get? So between the numbers 1 and 15, how many different numbers could I get by rolling 2 red dice 1 to 6? And you ask them then to work that out, maybe in their pairs, by rolling dice at their tables, and then you would do it yourself with the interactive dice on the whiteboard. So you might, for example, write down the numbers 1 to 16 or 15 and then roll dice and see which combinations you could get. And of course, you can't get a 1 because the minimum on each dice is 1 and 1 is 2. So the lowest number is 2 and the highest number is 12, and that gives you 11 numbers in total. Another activity would be to look at probability. And here you're saying to the children, if I was to roll 2 dice, 1 to 6, 20 times, and each time we add the two numbers, what will be the most common number that will arise? So if I throw 2 dice, 4 and 4 is 8. So in the numbers between 2 and 12, what will be the most common number that will be thrown up if I was to roll the dice 20 times? So you could let the children roll 2 dice and record their numbers, and they're going to record it like this. So they'll write down the numbers 1 to 12, and every time they do a combination, for example 4 and 4 or 5 and 2, they take it and then they analyze the data to see which number is most probable to arise when you roll and add 1 to 6 dice. Again, this is just a small selection of examples of activities that you can do with 5th and 6th class in rolling dice with various number combinations.